parked all the way over right where you come off the expressway. And it wasn't there, and she was explaining this to me. I said, well, you know, I might know where it was, because when I was parking, I noticed these buildings that had subject matters on the outside, and it's over there.
Yeah, the guy.
And so I looked out, and so I drove by, oh yeah, I remember this place.
I know the few glasses on there, that can't be.
Well, that's, I think it's like they were given.
Oh, I don't think.
You see that
They
kind
got
of thing?
these
Flags and
fucking creeks
everything.
running
Right.
through it.
They like where the
But
light
she was
is.
just honestly, and I thought about her, you know, she's always like that. I said, hey, I'd be in the same boat if I had to move my car every time I got closer to where I was supposed to be. I would have been this end down here, or I would have. We've been literally catty corner from where I was supposed to be there, and where I started at.
Yeah.
You're like that, Chipper's always.
Yeah, it is.
One day.
How are you? Oh, better.
How are you doing?
I'm doing fine, thank you. How are you?
Fine. Have you had your procedures yet?
Huh? Oh, yeah, I've had all of that. You're looking good.
We're glad to have you.
Nice of them.
And then some.
Good.
Better. Been a rough winter.
Not.
But Tim and I
You
had
got this back on.
we did.
Actually, we started at 7:00.
Oh, it's already
I think it's
7.
just-
I'm into this. You don't have to do them right now.
Friday. Friday night.
Okay, let's call this Board of Trustees meeting order at 7:02. Roll call
Trustee King.
Here.
Trustee Hale.
Here.
Mayor Long.
here. Welcome guests. Y'all know, you've got 3 minutes if you want one. Got anything to say about what's on the agenda? Anybody got anything? Consent agenda?
Read it.
Sure, please.
The following items have here been designated for routine approval, acceptance or acknowledgement by one motion, subject to any conditions included herein. If any item does not meet with the approval of all members, then items will be heard in regular order. Individual items may be deleted from the consent agenda for discussions and possible actions under item number 4. So consent agenda is approval of January minutes, approval of January monthly reports, approval of February payments, approval of blanket purchase orders in the amount of $250 for general, general and $250 for general maintenance to various vendors for repairs, parts, equipment, services, supplies, miscellaneous items, and approval of purchase orders 24-155 through 24-161 and 24-170, which is on a list we have in our book. So, call for a motion to accept.
Make a motion.
Got a motion?
I second it.
Got a motion, and I got a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Business agenda. Fund items. Is order hereby designated for discussion, consideration, and possible action which requires individual action. Discussion consideration of possible action for February 13th, 2024. Discussion of possible action, option select quote, replace the cemetery fence.
Okay, I don't like this one. And I've asked, but I contacted the guy that I've been using down in pastures. And basically, I'm glad we got it, because it gives us a place to start from. Number one, we discussed earlier that perhaps the town could get volunteers to help take the trees and branches down themselves and remove the fence. Now, I've talked with Stinchcomb just a little bit, and Jason has we've taken other trees and things down out there that were more dangerous onto his property, and then Jason burned them, and he has no problem of doing that again. Of the trees that are hanging over and.
Just, can I say something on that right quick?
Uh-huh.
Right now, that pasture is about that tall.
Okay.
If I burn my brush hog first.
Well, no, I'm just saying,
No, yeah, he does, he brush hogs.
yeah, I know, I'm just,
And wait for rain and everything, but trees are still standing at this point in time.
yeah, no, I'm just saying, right now, he
Sounds like he
just
needs to
turned
brush
some,
hog a lot. Oh.
just turned some cattle in there, so it should start going down, but
Which causes a problem of removing the fence. But maybe we can get the trees down.
Well, except if I remember right, that one, was it northwest corner tree is in the fence, isn't it?
Yeah, but we may have to string some fence up enough to hold his cows out temporarily or whatever, just lights.
Well, if it's,
You
Is
can
it
cut
on
it
the
down
west
to, you can still cut it down to the trunk, the way that it is, the trunk
Because
is.
down the top of the fence line, I want to say they're ready for it.
well, I think you go down below the fence line, cut it
Well,
off.
unless it's grown into
You
it,
take
Well,
one.
that's what I'm saying.
Well, I was gonna say,
It's not
go
very,
down
the one
below
that's
the
in
fence
the,
is-
it's a dead tree.
or it's a dead tree.
It's a massive dead tree and it's mostly fallen over and you can cut everything but the trunk out of it. And for the most part, nothing can really get through because there's a bunch of stuff hanging off of
Cows
it.
can't get through if you leave the tree in the fence for now.
If you leave the biggest part of the tree, which, yeah.
But anyway, his estimate was $2,150 to $1,200 to take the tree down and drop it. Fence removal, $950.
Right.
Then my other problem is, because he should have known better, and I talked to Stinchcomb about this too. He bid 1.25 gauge posts, and with running cattle, you really need 1.33 gauge fence to keep them in. So when I was at the livestock dinner, or the pork chop supper the other night, I ran into Bobby Price, who does a lot of same thing when he has an opportunity, when he's not doing something else. He's supposed to go by, I told him how many linear feet it was, and get us an estimate as well. I said, to build the fence, surely we can get it's 1,000 feet, 1,060 feet. Surely we can get the trees down ourselves and get the fence out when Stinchcomb doesn't have cattle in there now.
Are we just put barbed wire fence up back there?
Yes, 5 barbed wire with steel corners.
Is that not that hard to put barbed wire out?
No, and we may, well, again, we may choose to do this ourselves.
Because,
I don't know, we've done, did you ever do wire stretchers?
If I was doing,
I think I got a wire stretcher up there.
Okay, well,
I
anyway,
bet you we can come up with 2 or 3 of them.
well,
Yeah, it's not
I got this bid,
Unless I go buy one.
captain this price.
Right.
Anyhow, here's the bid, Bobby's gonna give us another one. I'd like to table this today, but I just want you to know that I am trying to get bids and figure out so we can get this done. It's in this year's budget.
Right.
Of course, it was, I think, about half this much in this year's budget.
I think 3,000 is what we budgeted
Well,
for.
this is 5,600, so it's close.
Well, I'm good with all of that.
And if anybody,
One thing I would ask is that we get a written permission from Stinchcomb to bring trees onto his land so we have something documented.
I,
Not
I'm just
saying
saying.
here, I'm just saying so that the town is covered if anything's ever said that we, yes, we did give written permission. to take
It's
on.
fine, it's fine, I just have to run him down.
Yeah.
He's really good to work with, has been.
Okay,
Oh, yeah,
I
sure.
got, you know, I have a motion, for this,
I make a motion to table.
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, discussion regarding rumors about who is mayor. I've been approached the last 3 weeks by several different people wanting to know why I resigned from mayor. I think I haven't. And whoever he's telling these rumors, it needs to stop. Because it is getting out of hand.
So does she resign for herself?
It's been, every time I go someplace, I run into somebody, they ask me, why didn't you resign from mayor? So
Okay, I haven't heard that one yet.
I asked 4 times up here at the pork chop dinner.
Seriously?
Yeah,
Okay.
So we thought it might be a good thing to just,
so I wanna make sure everybody knows what's going on here. It is not no rumor, I am not resigning, I am still the mayor.
Just say, tell them to show up at the meeting, find out themselves.
Tomorrow, I was in Guthrie at the grocery store, got no meat, whatever.
Okay.
And a lady asked if there was, we were sitting there talking, you know, work from Coyle, wanted for houses for rent and stuff. And out of her mouth, she said, well, I've heard the mayor up there. And I said, yeah. She goes, I heard she was real hard to get along with. So, I'm just, that was my only thing that I heard like that. So,
Let's just say you're a crook, I am real hard to get along with.
so I'm sorry, Carl, you've been demoted.
But I just wanna make sure, if somebody starts rumors, please stop.
Oh, this was from some lady in Guthrie that I heard from, so I have no idea.
I would appreciate it very much. Next, the discussion possible action, state auditor's suggestion, no longer accepting cash payments.
Yep.
And what?
Well, if you read the audit report that was released back in January the 10th, at the very last page is auditor suggestions to prevent future losses.
Well, yeah, I want that, I think that was.
Yeah, it was back, yeah, I think they told us this before. I think our financial auditors told us this. And this comment was made, we have a post office in town, and, you know, money orders, what do they cost, $1.50?
I think they're $2 up to $200 and then $2.50 for.
You said there's what?
Yeah,
Up to
$2,
$2
yeah, would cover most of.
with most of it.
Yeah.
It's just down the street. So, I've noticed when I'm reconciling every month that people are really using their credit cards a whole lot more than they used to. But we still have our cash payers. And I'm just putting this out here.
Does that mean, that don't mean, that's not including checks, right?
Oh, no, not at
Or
all.
just cash?
No, he's talking about just straight.
It says optimally, this is their optimally, the board should discontinue accepting cash as a form of payment.
Okay, I see that.
And at a minimum, if it continues to be accepted, a monthly review of the bank statements to verify the cash deposits are being made on a consistent basis. That has been going on ever since
Yeah, so we, yeah.
the other young lady was terminated. That was back in 2019. And, so we are meeting their minimum, but, if we wanna tighten it up. And like I've talked to Lindy also about when we have our spring, is it spring fling?
Now,
Our
Yeah.
festivals.
our events,
So,
yeah.
as to how we could control food purchases, et cetera, things like that. We already do a pretty good job at the spaghetti dinner. We have 2 people and we count before we leave and people sign off on it. Interestingly enough, the first year we started doing that, our proceeds went up over $2,000. And they stayed, you remember, and that was back about 6 years ago. So that one's, we kind of dealt with that. We got a single taker with a helper, 2 counters, firemen sign off, and whatever leaves the fire station. And I think you're stayed up. It was down there, you only pull in a couple $1,000s a month, or dinner from prior to that. And I think they've stayed up. So you have to remember that same crew that is now under that the state auditor was over there as well. But you can't prove anything because we didn't, it's just, but, which made me think of our festivals and selling coupons.
That same, standard is used for the festival as well, as far as multi-party counting and.
Well, however many, I don't know, well, we need to ask Lindy to document it.
It is.
I've never seen the procedure.
Oh.
That we need to document for our procedure books, and we've got something to measure by. And, because like I said, the number of places cash is coming in needs to be to a minimum.
Wouldn't it be beneficial to codify those controls?
Well, that's why I say we've got to document them first, then we can codify them. But we can document them first. Yeah, they should be in our procedures for sure, if not codification. Anyway, there's been pros and cons. People say we need to take cash, and they don't even pay cash. One of the comments that was made. I would like to see if there is any comment, maybe be voiced and talk to Lindy if you hear anybody that, or Lindy, you ask, tell people as we're coming in to see.
I can tell our cash
Huh?
people, the people that come in and pay cash every month, see what they,
And see if there's a reason they can't get to the post office. It's cheaper probably than the 3% you're charged on your credit card. The credit card charges what when they pay?
I don't know. I'll find out on minimum bill. I don't know right off the top.
Yeah, they deduct that before they ever send us the money.
Right,
They add it to the bill.
right.
I'm thinking $3 or something. It's a
I was thinking
percentage.
it might be $4.
Yeah. So it's actually cheaper to buy money orders than to use your credit card. I believe to do.
They charge the same for debit.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
So, no, it's not
Cost,
full.
I believe, goes to maintain the functionality.
Well, right.
I haven't carried
So,
a check.
anyway, I just wanna bring it up, I wanna bring it to everybody's attention, get this game plan to see if we can't reduce our losses, or not reduce our reduce the opportunity for losses. And that's all I have. I don't wanna vote on anything tonight, cause I don't think
I don't think we need to.
not tonight, but it's not gonna go away, because every time we have a financial audit, they're gonna get reminded again that we need to stop. As well as the state, this is from the state auditor. And that's not about, that's on the other one, right, Lindy? On CPWA is when we discussed, something.
The
Oh, what's going on with it?
Yes.
Yeah. That's all.
Fire department report.
Okay, we run 5 nickel, 2 gas fires, 2 structure fires, 7 mutual aid calls. can look at it either way. We're kinda happy. Our medical calls should be dropping. Langston got their license, so they have begun running medical calls in Langston, which helps us, I mean, cause they started too. I mean, we had one that we was running almost every day. It's a couple, and it was lift assist is all it was. And it may be him and it may be her. So, I mean, I'm glad they got their license. It's gonna cut our calls down, which is fine, especially on the medical end of it.
Because there is no compensation
No, there's
for this,
nothing on that.
just time and equipment usage.
So, I'm glad they got that. It's gonna help out a lot, even on, if we have big something, they're right here. Both of us can get there, get through your
They're actually trying to do now, you can do
death
stuff.
threat, LifeNet.
Like,
Can get here, whichever side it's on, but we'll have that there to help.
That would help BJ.
So,
Yeah, poor BJ.
we did a standby last Friday, somewhere in there, for Guthrie, for one of the firefighters' funeral, dad's funerals. So we went over, had several departments go cover their station for them.
and Charles, what was the guy's name again? I apologize, but I know he's very well known and respected.
George McCall.
George McCall. If anybody didn't know. Yeah.
I didn't know.
A week and a half, 2 weeks ago.
Something like that, yeah. Yeah.
Funeral was Friday.
I didn't even know.
Just putting it out there, guys, our fire department, county sales tax is coming up.
What side of the, what?
I knew you was gonna ask that. And I don't know that.
It's in March, right?
March, whatever it is.
I don't have it with me either.
We will, speaking of something else, hopefully end of this month, we'll be able to maybe go out for bids on an add-on for the station. So, kind of waiting on county to get stuff set up on that end of it. That's about all I have on that end. I would like to see if possible, short notice. I've been busy and forgot. Devin's been busy, and he said he was in here and forgot. If there's any way possible to get a check made out to Woodcrest Fire Department for $172.50 for campaign signs.
We talked about that last month, didn't we?
Yeah, I believe so. They're in, they're done.
Yeah.
It's 14, we split it up between all the departments. We're paying for 14 signs. I don't know that we need 14 signs, but other departments can use more. And as the Chiefs Association, we decided that was the easiest way to just split it and
I
go
don't have
with
a
that.
problem.
Oh, and it's March the 5th.
5th, okay.
No, make a motion.
I make a motion that we approve the fire department expenditures of
$172.50.
$172.50 for the sales tax election that they directly benefit from,
That's for 14 signs.
14 signs.
I have a second.
I agree with it, I just don't know if there's something we can actually vote on this agenda. But the other question is, it's their money, why do we have to vote on it
Yeah,
after getting a check?
Well, because it's,
Well,
That's,
but
he's
it's
still-
still,
notified after the ceremony.
but it's still
It's
through
still got-
the
it's still
town.
through the town.
Yeah.
The board is still,
You know,
I don't know that we can lawfully vote on that tonight, but
Right.
if we can, my vote is yes.
It's not listed on there. so-
Right.
So I don't think that's a lawful vote to have, but
When do you
Oh,
March the fifth, which is
Well-
less than a month.
the signs are there. They was actually come in
Well, is
end
anybody
of
got-
last week.
I have no objection to that. I have not.
And I haven't picked up the sign.
Well-
Haven't had a chance. They're at the Guthrie Fire Department, but I didn't pick up the sign.
I don't know why we can't vote.
Really, I think.
Well, because it's not on the agenda.
Looks good.
So if somebody wants to complain, let them complain.
It's under the Bible.
Well,
It's
anyway,
just like anything else, it's under that department.
Well, I didn't think that was that kind of good.
Because Woodcrest
well, if that.
footed the bill up front, they were all the signs.
On my credit card, and
Yes.
that's just producing a check for it. It's on a credit card, it's $172.
Well, with the credit card, theoretically, we're supposed to be approving all expenditures
Yeah.
unless they've been delegated.
Seriously.
So, and we actually are running a risk on the credit card. Not pre-approval.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see that. We need money.
And I don't know, that may have been
Okay.
something no more than what it is. I should have just
You
come
and
in
I
and asked you
can
for
have a
a check.
special meeting
I mean,
Yeah,
2 days from now.
I just
Yes.
like to get it
let's do that.
so that
Let's do that.
everybody.
Thursday. Thursday evening at 8 o'clock, means that it's, no, we can't do that either, because that'd be Friday. Trying to get her 48 hours in there. Yeah, Friday. Full special meeting Friday, and we'll, yeah, let's do that.
You can.
You're available Friday?
I do.
During the day or in the evening?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
and
think.
the evening, if Carl's gonna try to make it back.
Oh, okay.
Friday, I'll try.
How about that?
I don't know.
What's that?
Friday.
Friday. She will go ahead and get it
okay.
prepared, and then we'll come in by 7 o'clock Friday evening, and that's the only thing on the agenda.
When you gotta have it.
Well, that's what I was thinking, no more than what it is. I probably should have just asked for a check when I even brought it up here, because, I mean, it's no different than us taking a credit card and
Yeah.
buying something.
That's where I was at with
That's
that.
true too.
Per
Because you're
se.
allowed so much anyway, right?
That's, yeah.
But, I mean, it's not a big deal.
I should have something to put on that one, Bubba, but I mean, you know.
But that's why I like to be transparent with everything.
Oh, you just-
Thanks for
Yeah.
We'll cover your flag.
Well, he doesn't need it, he just needs to have the check, that'll be happy.
Oh, yeah, you just, yeah, you don't care about the banks, that's their problem, gotcha. So you take that to them Friday afternoon or Friday evening and keep signs and be good? Yeah.
I could probably go get the signs,
With the promise that,
and, yeah, I mean,
yeah.
Luke, good. I mean,
Well, as much discussion here, just listen to the minutes and we're there, so.
The only other thing I have, and most everybody's aware of, the guys are aware of it anyway. I will be gone the 21st through the 28th
February.
February. Going to Florida. Yeah. Yeah.
You do realize you missed Valentine's Day by a little bit there, right?
Maybe a plan. I'll make it up for it when I'm done.
Sure, give you credit for it.
I guarantee you ain't gonna get away with it.
I'm not so sure, I refuse for my husband to spend money during Valentine's Day. I don't like playing these games.
Okay,
Really,
so,
I don't understand, I don't see why you can't just go ahead and write the check and then have it. Cause it's not that big of a deal.
I don't see why we need to call for a vote on
I
that.
don't either.
All right, anything under $500,
Yeah, it's not that.
even at 500, I'm still sitting there going,
We need to have that in our consent agenda.
I don't disagree with that at all. Not one
Solve
of
this
it.
problem, just like
For the,
Yeah,
Yeah, consent agenda for miscellaneous expenditures on the fire department.
yeah, I don't disagree with that at all, so,
That would take care of that.
the intent of the board is that it's under the amount that we're really concerned about our fire chief thing.
Yeah. And it's a
So-
courtesy that he asked.
And this courtesy that he asked, we'll take it, so no Friday night meeting, and there you go.
There you go.
Thank you very much for being so courteous and kind.
Well, like I said, I like to be transparent, you know. Other than that, I don't think I have anything else on that.
Okay. Financial report?
The ending balances as of January 31st, not December 31st. General funds, $52,380.47. CPWA, $77,061.31. And the fire department's $50,573.53. And then you've also got the cash activity and balances report and budget to actuals as of the end of January.
Thank you.
Good, I could get to see it. Okay.
I did attend the budget process class last month, so at the end of February, I'll kind of start working on that process and get us a head start on it.
Okay. Anything else?
All that.
Maintenance report?
Wade is out. He hurt himself somehow and said he wasn't going to be able to be here tonight, so not here.
Thank you. Have you read my mind?
Yeah. So on the maintenance report, he fixed the hydraulic leak on the Kubota, put up some street signs, and kept an eye on that issue over by the lift station. And we shut off the road to keep people from driving over it.
I sure hope that we prioritize all those signs getting put up.
I'm making a look at the list for him.
Which,
Yeah.
which ones you putting up?
The
We
street signs.
purchased for about 6 months ago all the new street signs, and we haven't managed to get them.
Long longer to
Okay,
go.
I was
than
a
this
bad
one.
person.
Yeah, it's been a while.
I know, I'm a bad person, it's hard to get along with.
What's that comment, guy?
Yes, I changed my sex.
So you're the mayor?
No. Today that I said,
Well, I'm just asking because you're the mean one. There's a rumor that the mayor, is
That's
a
why you
mean
changed
one.
that.
I'm just, maybe,
That's like
They're both mean, it's just as the male and the female.
right? I'm just trying to
That's
put it all
what we're
together.
saying, that these rumors need to stop.
I'm just trying to put it all together because I haven't heard anything for tonight.
I think we need to go back to order.
I'm sorry.
You're all right.
Well, Carl, at least you introduced a fun one tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, I want to
Discussion,
give
possible
this,
action,
keep
send
going.
the skag to the skags.
Yeah.
Oh, the mower.
Yes.
Discussion.
I'm saying.
That's down, doesn't it?
Well, at least we're getting a kick out of it.
It's about time. What about the red one, the Spartan?
It needs to go too. That one has been approved. It just needs to go. The SCAG we haven't approved to send
Okay.
it, so
Yeah, they need to get
That
it.
needs
I
to go.
don't know
I think
that
the last
Wade has
one
gotten a quote on anything, so we may just have to take it in and then we'll
Yeah,
get
they
a
just
quote
need to
and
be
then-
maintained.
Yes.
They
Yeah.
really truly do.
I think
And
they both probably need to work over
The
it.
SCAG actually works best in the cemetery because it's smaller and you get around the headstones and everything.
Yeah.
I've been told. I don't get everything.
Probably told accurately.
Huh?
think you're probably totally accurate. Now, that's, I don't know if the price has changed or nothing, but when we approved the, Spartan to go in,
Thought we did.
like a year ago,
Yeah.
it was like $2,500. Jason, you were part of that conversation, about $2,500.
I'm sorry.
Sounds good. You were part of that conversation then, it was about $2,500 to get the whole thing redone
Spartan.
on Spartan, do you remember?
Yeah,
Except for looking at the spindle.
well,
Yeah.
so spindles, number one, spindles are like, that's almost as easy as blades to replace. on
Right.
Just about every lawnmower. I wouldn't pay a shop to do it. Changing the oil, I don't know why we'd be paying a shop to do it. I do it on my mowers every year.
Oh.
Like, changing the blades, changing the spark plug, changing the oil.
Yeah, but that was all part of the, yeah.
Yeah, it's
The package was for,
$299, I think.
So no, I don't know what 2,500 would have been for, but it wouldn't have been for that. Now, $300 isn't a terrible price for spindles, blades, plugs,
Right.
air filter.
I think we have some issues with the starting it and that
The
key
switch
one.
That's the
No,
Stag.
that's the scab.
The Stag has the some switch and it's gone bad, so that it
But it's not a
doesn't start
computerized
reliably.
scab. I mean, it's not a computerized
It's not a
switch, so it's not a
computer
big
thing.
fancy.
It's just.
I just wanted to make sure we
Lights
were,
on it.
thank you, Jason. I just want to make sure we're aware of that, you know, we're looking at a couple $1,000 to get that done.
Well, but again, I
To
don't,
go
maybe
through
not
it.
if we don't change the oil and the blades and the spindles and the, so it should be just carburetor type.
Yeah, I mean, it's general maintenance unless there's something specific wrong with the
There's a
motor.
warranty.
Not on the Stag.
Not on the Stag, no, but on the Spartan, I think we're told there's warranty or not.
I don't know, it gets paid off, which is a 4-year loan,
Be a long time.
so it's gonna, I don't really think it had a 4-year warranty.
I don't know, I'd have to
I
look.
doubt anything had 4-year warranty.
And I just know that it was a 4-year loan, pretty sure it was a 4-year loan.
If you're lucky.
If, well, I worked magic, but it does get paid off in the next couple of months.
Yep.
So we will be debt-free as of that point in time, which is a good thing.
Bigger thing.
Okay, so, what do we need to do on it?
Oh, we need, I make a motion that we,
Stag definitely needs to go
it needs to
in.
go in, but it doesn't need to have it, can weight change, is it capable of changing
Yeah, I
the
think we'll change more.
oil and probably purchasing new blades,
Right.
purchasing,
But it has to be greased up, like, I don't know,
Maybe
if they've got a grease gun in
grease
there
it
anyways.
and just check it.
The
That
other,
much-
the other side on the Stag is what I would recommend, and yes, he's capable of doing all those things. It's not working right, they both complained about it over the summer,
The
probably,
switch,
et cetera.
the switch needs to be fixed for sure.
I would send it in and have everything gone through on it, make sure everything's right, and then start from there.
Okay, then we can
Or
approve what we
you can
want
go
to be
through
done,
and,
okay.
What needs to be done to it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, so just,
I don't have problems with that.
I think they both should be handled that way. Send them in for a checkup and then tell them we'll give them approval of what we want to do and. Now, you can't send the Spartan and the Skag to the same place.
I think the Spartan has to go to Vex, but I don't know where this guy. We went
Skag?
last time off.
Coonians work on the, yeah, Coonians works on the
Yeah,
Skag.
they do Skag, but I don't know, they probably do Spartan, but,
No, they don't.
yeah, no.
yeah, you looked that one up last year, that was Spartan dealership,
Hard to find.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so,
Okay,
So I make a motion that we send both mowers in for a diagnostic
check it,
checkup.
second.
I got a motion, I got a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Cemetery report. First, there's something else, like cemetery.
I don't know. Miss,
I don't have anything to report. Sorry, I was right.
Okay.
we've already talked about the fence, so.
Yes.
Yeah, Clerk, code enforcement report.
I don't really have anything specific to report, but you do have a list from when the gentleman from Henry Code Enforcement came, that's in your packet there. I'm gonna call him tomorrow just to kind of see what our next
Fiddlestick thing.
steps are as far as how we approach these. So, I'll pass along whatever information, he gives me when I talk to him tomorrow, and then, they'll know how to proceed from there.
Yeah, I kinda like for us to have a special meeting literally to see if we need to, once we look over all this good stuff, give him some direction as to what we want to pursue first and how we want it, how much involvement we want to be, all those
I
good
think
things.
we owed them a couple of weeks ago and they all forgot about it.
I do
About
too.
freezing to death or something.
But anyway.
He did suggest in there to start on Main Street and kind of work.
Yeah, that's what I've always, I'm surprised the bank is not in here.
It is.
Oh, it is?
I just not got there yet.
I thought I looked at it. So when you guys sit
I think he's 393.
Did you get the alleyway, the roof is in now?
That one wasn't on there.
So what do you guys think? Should we have a Saturday afternoon meeting or?
I may have to see when he's available to do that.
Yeah,
I can ask him that when I talk to him tomorrow.
And unfortunately, some of these houses are actually inhabited. So, we're gonna call him?
I will call him tomorrow and I'll pass along any information I learn.
Okay. Well, we're beginning, guys.
They should have got a couple on it.
Yep. Anything else?
That's all I've got.
Right, I guess that's me, huh? Well, the tech did test the siren, and that's good for that now, for now. We still need to replace the bracket on the.
Oh, the whole,
Yeah.
yeah. I think I want to say, you know, we did that, we need to do something different, because it's come off again. I don't know, it's not really,
Because it's not good. But, that sounds good, and everybody can hear it now.
my daughter don't like it too much.
I got a lot of calls on it. Went off, what are we doing? It's passed, not because it's,
We're gonna do something.
I also want to let everybody know the March
First week of March.
third,
Third through the 8th.
third through the eighth is the emergency management conference. I'm signed up to go to it.
Come back and vote
So,
on the fire department.
Or do your absentee ballot,
I do have to keep out.
yeah,
We're back.
that's on fifth.
On the fifth.
Fifth.
You said 3 to 3, March what to what?
To the eighth. It's Monday, it's gonna be Sunday through Friday.
Well, that works, right, because the 5th is a Tuesday, yeah.
I'll be back Friday. But I wouldn't probably come back Friday morning because I got an interview, I gotta go through it Friday night. Stillwater. last year. I was back up here about 5. And I gotta be up there at 5. But I'm not awful, I'm gonna take my personal vehicle this time. For a simple reason, just, I don't think it'll make it down here and back.
Well, you know, we do have need to be looking for something.
Yeah.
It's in the budget.
I've kind of been looking around a little bit here and there.
I know where there's a decent truck. Cashin Fire Department's getting rid of one of their half-ton crew cab 4-wheel drive.
Stephen was looking at that.
Command unit.
Really,
Mhm.
that'd be perfect.
It's-
We need to be bigger than
I
that.
can't remember all the details on it, but I mean, it's in decent shape.
It's a full-on command truck, slide out, type,
Do you have the
box.
contact information on it?
I can get
Would you
you.
please?
Yeah.
Don't remember if it was 2-wheel or 4-wheel drive.
I think it's 4-wheel.
I wanna say it is. Stephen was looking at it the other day,
We better get on it.
crew cab and all works.
Probably even rented.
Was his red or, his was red, wasn't it?
Who's?
The truck.
Yes, it's ready.
It's already
It
red.
doesn't matter.
I know, but I'm being
It doesn't really
silly.
matter.
You guys got me
We
confused
just have to,
tonight.
you just have to change the lettering, put hard on it and stuff. There's-
Sounds like I'm trying to remember. Yeah, we need to find out how much it is, because I know what we put in the budget.
Stephen said it was 10,000, what they were asking for, and I was trying to figure out how to truck with all that stuff on it, was only 10,000.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
Oh,
That fits our budget.
Yeah, I'm pretty,
Yeah, that's well within our budget.
And we can even have it gone through and tuned up or whatever. Nothing wrong with it.
I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Yes, they got a new one.
Well, maybe we'll have something to vote on here shortly.
As, if you get me that information, I'll get hold of him.
Okay, that's what he's working on.
Maybe just look at it.
Okay.
Okay. Was there something else I was gonna say?
I think the conference was it.
Oh, radios, we need, VHF radios. I'd like to have this 4 if I can. Now, I don't know how much those are gonna cost. I'm trying to find some used ones somewhere.
So that's the deal, 800 is cheaper than VHF.
Every place I've checked is, don't have those used ones, they're wore out. Got some new ones. Yeah. 400 or 500 apiece. I know sometimes at the conference you can find some stuff in there reasonable. Sometimes you can get through too.
Well, I tell you what, I'm pretty sure, do you remember what we put in the budget for the truck?
20, I think.
I thought so too, but I'm gonna see that. So there may be some capital expenditure money left over.
We've got all of that.
We're gonna pull this off.
We just need some way we can talk to each other and not in the video.
No,
Especially when you get out, have to go check on someone in the house or something. You have to run back out to the vehicle, and have to get on the radio.
to call for help.
Yeah.
Okay.
But right now, everybody's got, the one that's helping me out's got a handheld 800. I would like to use 800 whenever.
Yeah.
They don't like it.
Harlan didn't come, he don't get yelled at that much for it.
Well, 800s are hard to use. You got so many channels running. I've got to have another class on how to use it. But, that's, I don't get the one right now.
Okay, there's a lot of folks that need that class. Just, yeah.
New business.
I'm good.
You haven't had a chance to check your email, have you?
No. Do I need to?
Yeah?
Motion to adjourn.
No, we've got some new business.
Oh.
No, this is the wrong one.
Okay. I'll still check my email.
Yeah, you need to check your email. I'd make a motion to adjourn.
I just did.
I second it.
Oh, no. All in favor?
Aye.
At 7:51.
Well, I,
So I just print this out,
yeah, when it comes time to, have to do business.
right?
Okay. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
Let's call Board of Trustees meeting for the Cool Public Works Authority to order at 7:52. Roll call
Trustee King,
Yep.
Trustee Hale,
Here,
Mayor Long.
here. Welcome guests. Again, they got 3 minutes to talk about anything on the agenda. Anybody? Consent agenda. Consent agenda for February 2024. Approval of January meeting. Approval of January monthly report. Approval of payroll for February 2024. Approval of the packet purchase orders. And the amount of 500 to various vendors, repairs, and parts, and equipment, service, supplies, miscellaneous items. Approval of purchase order 24-116 through 24-169, 24-79. Mouthful. Okay.
I'll make motion to adjourn.
I second it.
The motion got a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. No.
Aye. That was sneaky. Multitasking, get you every time.
Business in.
Gives them an update.
Consideration to, okay, top now. Discussion, consideration, possible action, February 13th, 2024 meeting, embezzlement update.
Okay. Well, as you know, everybody, we got our state audit back on January the 10th. And I have been finishing up the proof of claims on all of our 3 bonds. We have 3 bonds out there to collect against. The audit came out within $1,000 of what we turned over to the sheriff in September of 2020. And it's gonna cost us approximately 27 plus for that audit. But without that audit, our DA would not prosecute. And without the DA prosecuting, our bond companies will not pay. So the bulk of the bonds will go probably if we will have to pay off our state auditor. We've got one open audit bill from, how many years ago was that? 8 years ago. And the auditors are, strangely enough, the state of Oklahoma does not fully fund the state audit department. They are, by law, required to bill all municipalities, all state agencies, all county governments, etc., for all of the audits that they do. And they have a tough time when people don't pay their audit bills. And so that's where our bond money may end up going. I've given you guys a calculation of, we have enough bonds to cover about 54% of the CPWA loss. We have about enough. The way I split it out, the Ohio Casualty Bond is in the name of CPWA only and Oklahoma Water Resources Board. I have requested and received a release of claim from Oklahoma Water Resources Board. They were named insured for when the town borrowed money back in 1995. And so they had no problem issuing a release from all of our bond funds. Because, and we're gonna take their name off of the name bond status at this point in time. The Western Surety was in the name of CPWA and the town. And so I split, based on the total losses, CPWA incurred almost $55,000 in losses. The town, $7,500, and that's an 12% ratio of a $12,000 bond. It's way. Then the fire department, under your VIFS, an employee on dishonesty policy. You lost a lot of money, and we're gonna have to move some money out of the water to the fire department because of her shenanigans of putting the money in the wrong bank accounts, and we know what that is. Just haven't moved the money yet. But there was an $1,120 fire run check that got put in her bank account. And that's recoverable. And then there was $360 of receipts we found in the books, of the receipt books that belong to the fire department. So there will be $1,480 coming in from that employee dishonesty. And I haven't calculated how much money needs to be transferred out of the bank account. We moved it, we correctly reported the revenue through all those 5 years of past audits, but we have not moved the cash to go along with the monies that she put in CPWA account instead of the fire department. We moved the revenue, our audits are good, but we haven't transferred the cash yet. I check every 3 days. There has been no indictment at this time. Why? I wish you would call the DA and ask him. I have been asking for this since September of 2020.
I got mad or she's late.
I don't know. She is the one who requested the state audit before she would press charges. Now, she has had the state audit for 1 month. And when I check on it, they're waiting for OSBI. Now, I know that the state auditor has met with OSBI. So I don't know what the holdup is now. But I got a spy in the DA's office, so maybe I don't know what to do, guys.
So Joanne, what is the total you have covered in the bonds, not counting the
22,000.
firemen?
Oh, well, there's 19 and 12,
Okay,
which is 31.
but until you get an indictment, they're not okay. Is that correct?
Theoretically, that's how our policies are written. I'm getting movement on, I needed to ask, I'm glad you brought that up. I have been asked by Western Surety, and I'm not ready to sign, but they've asked me to sign the release once we get the $12,000. And that's normal, standard insurance hands you the check, they want a release for the amount of your bond. There's no more open claim at that point in time. So, she's the one that's stuck with me over the, 4 years now? Regular, and everybody else, I had to go find a new adjuster on the Ohio Casualty. That guy had left the company. And VFIS had closed the claim, although it had been reported and because of lack of activity. So I got that reopened. And they all have proof of claims now. Like I said, I've been asked for Ohio Casualty, even though we have $54,000 of audited losses publicly disclosed by the auditor. I got an email today that they want the individual details of the losses. That's okay, because that's what was handed to the state auditor. The work's done.
So, can I clarify just something from my head? So where the city is at a loss of $54,000.
On CPWA. It was a total of over $63,000.
Okay. Oh, you've thrown out that 54, so I was just.
Yeah, but that was on CPWA.
On CPW. And then the bonds that are supposed to protect us is 27,000, or is it the 54%?
It's the 50, well, it's 19,000 of the one that's in the name of CPWA alone. And it's 88% of the 12,000, because CPWA had 88% of the losses compared to 12% of the town. So we split the one that was the 12,000 that was in both names by the amount of total losses, which gives CPWA $29,560 bond coverage against, which is 54% of the total loss of CPWA. So, not over yet.
But again, the bonds can't be released until there's an indictment.
Per
Yes.
the contract.
Yes.
Now, they could choose that the state audit is substantial, well, they want to make sure that we're not trumping up charges, going after somebody, filing a false claim. The state audit report meets all of that criteria, but it says press charges indicted or false.
But apparently the attorney doesn't think it's that important to our little town to get our
Like
money.
I said, have at it. I live in it.
Our district attorney don't care.
Need to vote her out.
And the state audit came after the sheriff didn't want any part of it.
Yeah, well, the sheriff the deputy sheriff was here on December the 19th when she was terminated and admitted taking the money out of the cash box. And we had proof that from the month of October, $3,000 was missing. And he sat on it until the summer. Well, it was the summer, it was June of 2021, and I called him up and I said, hey, give this to OSBI, I need to come see you. He was happy to pass it off. OSBI calls our DA and says, we have this documentation, over 600 pages of the loss, and the DA said, well, that's nice, I'm not doing anything until I have a forensic audit by the state auditor.
But now we have that.
And now we have that. After they started, the state auditor showed up in February of 22 for a month and a week, and then he left the state auditor's office. And we didn't have another auditor. And like I said, every 3 to 4 months I send emails, what's the status, yada, yada, yada. Our financial auditor, who does work for the state auditor, talked to them and is why we got this audit. He said, hey, she's done the work, all you need to do is audit the audit. And I don't know if you guys saw the article about Coyle and Jones. The state auditor said most of these audits cost between $50,000 and $80,000. And they did not have to start from scratch. They just audited the audit. that was already done, the 600 pages that was handed to them.
So what you're saying is that you gave 50 to 80,000 in your time to
Well-
get that audit done for the city.
I guess so.
Basically.
Yeah, basically, that's
That's
it.
what I did, it was.
Well,
Wasn't for her putting her time in that, we wouldn't have it.
Somebody somewhere's making good wages. Yeah, it ain't around here.
well, I will say this on behalf of state audit. They bill us at about a $95 per hour rate, and FYI, my company bills me at $125 an hour when I do consulting work and audit work. So the state auditor's not out of line with what they charged, the going rate of audits. It's, like I said, it's about $30 an hour less than what I get billed at.
You shouldn't have to pay law enforcement to do your job.
No, but our state statute, our Oklahoma, and I have talked with John Talley, and I've talked with OML, and right now they're in session. But he has asked if I would go to the state auditor's office with him and see if there's, how we can get relief for towns like Hoyle. OML is subsidized and helps us with legal costs. OMAG is subsidized and we get help on our insurance bills. You know, maybe it's time with these little rural communities that are so important to our food source, Oklahoma, and our number 3 agriculture is number 3 on our in revenue producing. That maybe we need a little more support than what we're getting today. So, because our farmers' kids need education. That's my 2 cents worth, and that's what I tell anybody and everybody that I talk to.
Okay,
That's all. We'll keep pushing.
water report. Here it is.
Meters were read, monthly and weekly water testing done. We had one meter that had to be replaced because the bottom of it blew out and froze. And that's been all, the can replaced and fixed, and so hopefully that won't happen again.
Was it done now?
Yeah. There was a leak on the customer side of the meter that wasn't uncovered, or wasn't covered, sorry, and it froze, and I don't know, blew out the whole bottom of it, but it's been all fixed now.
Okay.
Wastewater report.
Continued cleaning around the edges of the ponds. The first aerator, when, I think it was just when it was so cold, it kept tripping, so we had to reset that several times.
There seems to be some issues over there in the discharge field. We've got one of the risers doesn't have a head on it and it's coming out like a geyser, and several pretty big mud holes forming because it's been running so long. There's leaks on multiple risers as well again. So I think it all got froze up. I don't think it ever got turned off when the freeze hit.
So we're gonna have to probably do that line or.
It's really be turned, I mean, I would probably turn it off tomorrow because the discharge field really needs to dry out some.
Do you think Wade will be here tomorrow?
When I talked to him earlier, he said he would be, but I didn't realize it was on right now. It's on right now.
It's been on for a long time.
I'll be sure and mention that to him.
Well, we also have a collapsed, it's not in here, it should be, if he was here, the wastewater, is everyone aware that our sewer line is collapsing, or something is collapsing underneath the road where our sewer line runs to the lift station?
There's water out of dirt that runs away
And we don't know where the dirt, we don't know where the dirt is. We've got estimates to fix it between $27,000 and $68,000. Lindy is checking with OWRB to see if there's any emergency funding available, because that'll just sap everything that we've got. And it's not part of what we're gonna discuss in new business.
Right.
So, and you're gonna call OMAG as well, our insurance, because if the collapse worsens and blocks the flow of sewer,
More trouble.
we're in trouble.
Do you have it camera to make sure it is a sewer line?
I don't think, as I started thinking back to that rat test, I think because it backed up that day, literally, and I don't remember why, that they didn't get the camera down it at that point.
There was another time the camera tried to go down it and they were afraid that, it might be too brittle and the camera in motion or whatever might collapse. They didn't want to take the risk on it. But it is directly over the line between the lift station and the first manhole. We don't know that, as far as we know, there's nothing wrong with the line at this point.
Well, we can't
It's
see in the
not
bottom of
backed
the
up.
lift station to see if we got mud in it.
Yeah, but it's not backed up and we don't have anything backing up at the manhole, so that's a good sign. The bigger concern is that if that does continue to collapse and it does come down on it, that should be a clay pipe. That would crush that pipe and then we'd start having serious problems. So,
Being checked daily, because if it goes back up, you've got about an hour, if that.
yeah, it is.
How deep is that manhole right there? It's just on the other side of the, it's in the alley, right?
Yeah, this is one in the alley. I think that one was about,
Probably 10, if not 15.
I want to say 10 feet, if I remember right.
I was just wondering what you need to, if it did, bypass pump into the lift station so you can continue to operate.
Right, that's not a bad thought. We probably ought to find one.
Yeah, I have something on standby.
Well, the one that we got from United last
I
night
guess we
was
was-
fine.
All right, new business.
Well, no, this is about this, it's under wastewater report.
Okay.
And that is a good point. That was fairly
Actually-
reasonable, wasn't it, to
Yeah, and probably oversized, yeah, because that was a 6-inch, I think.
I thought it was a 3-inch.
No,
It was
No.
6 inch.
6 inch.
That thing you pulled up on top of the lagoon
Yeah.
with the tractor?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the name of the tractor.
It was 6 or 8?
It was 6 inch. I don't think it was any.
I know we had work today.
Because I could at least deal with the pipes coming off of it, on a I don't think I could with an 8-inch.
Probably could get by with 4.
That's what I was thinking.
Um,
That 6 is
and there's
it's a beast.
a local guy here we rent from
They're gonna have to go all the way to Oklahoma City.
that's right on the 105. If he has one
That was a
available,
generator.
we've rented from him several times.
All right, we'll keep your phone on, or give the name to Lindy.
It's, what is it now? H2.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
H2.
Okay.
Craig Hamilton.
Yeah, we've got a bill in the file from H2.
I think that's where we got the big pump when we were talking.
And we got 2 of them when
Yeah.
we had our, almost topped the lagoon that one time.
Yeah. That's where we got that, that's what 8 inch was.
But anyway, that's why the road's blocked off, everybody in the whole Northwest gets, we've had such a diversity of bids. We're gonna have a meeting as soon as,
Yeah, that one, as soon as we got those last bids already, just call the merchant and sit down and do it, because that needs to get done
Yeah.
quick.
so,
Yeah, that needs to be taken care of. Okay.
If there's nothing further on that line, I'd like to go back to the water report for a second. I had a question on that one I wanted to ask. Nobody has any objections?
No, go ahead.
This one's yours.
Me?
It's yours.
Alright, I'm
Okay.
ready for it. I don't know. I can tell you something though.
All right, so what are we looking at out here? Everybody's seeing that you're starting to get ready to move that line. The questions are gonna start coming. How long are we gonna have water down?
Yeah, no,
How
that's
brown is the water gonna be?
Business, but, right, I believe they made the bore.
Okay,
The bore's under. I don't know.
Looks like they put the line on there.
I think the line's through.
okay,
They are gonna make the new tap tomorrow. I will be over here to witness that.
okay.
Which, I mean, I understand where everybody's at, but everything they're doing is
Oh, yeah.
on Guthrie's side. So the city isn't been worried about, other than not having water. But I'm gonna witness that, and they have to sanitize, flush that line, get their, back tees results back, which is 2 and 24 hours. After that, we'll set up a time. They will have everything ready to make the tie-in. If everything goes right, the town shouldn't be without feed
Right.
more than 4 or 5 hours.
Okay.
Okay, because we're gonna say, our water tower holds 3 days.
As long as school's not in.
Yeah.
So we're looking at 2 days and we're out
Then,
4 hours.
if school's in, you get a day, day and a half. As long as they're not watering the ball fields.
I think we're clear.
Well, you know.
But, no, that's where,
Okay.
I'm gonna try, depending on how quick it goes, somebody from my department will be over here when everything happens.
So we're looking like, what, probably next week,
That's
making the tie-in?
possibly, yes.
Okay.
I mean, as long as they get their back tees, when they're flushing that line, they're gonna try, and I don't know how it's gonna work. It's not that long of a run, so that will help, but they're gonna try and fill their mules, donkeys, whatever,
Yeah,
buffaloes,
right.
Trucks, you mean?
to put this foot on where they need the water instead of just pumping it down.
Okay.
That's what they're gonna try to do. They don't have enough trucks to do that.
Okay.
Okay, look a minute.
They got full name filled.
But, I mean, so, but I told them I've got to know, because when they start flushing that line, that's gonna draw water from Langston. It shouldn't bother you here. I mean, there will be
Yeah,
some
because we
low.
still have water coming. Are they gonna use your water to flush stuff?
Yes, yeah.
They have to.
They make
have
that
to.
tap, they have to use the flush.
But we're not gonna be shutting the town water off to the tower for any extended period of time. We'll have enough
Until
water,
they make
water
the-
pressure in there
Yeah,
that we shouldn't see a difference at that
you will
point.
probably see some low, because they'll be drawing right there. It's 2-inch line.
We'll survive. We don't have to get
It's-
pressure anyway.
A lot of people don't understand that pulling 2 inches off of a 6-inch, you're gonna see a difference,
Yeah.
for sure. But you will still have flow coming into town,
Right.
so, but no, we're definitely
You wanna call
seeing
that?
that. Met with them a couple of weeks ago and shut them down until they said, oh yeah, we're gonna do this, make the tie-in, just a few days we'll be done. I said, no, you're not. I said, we gotta have back T samples. I mean, you know, this is gonna happen, this is a ODOT project, we don't have to have that. I said, oh, yes, we do.
Oh, yes, you have. Thank you for
I don't
coming
need
out.
any more.
So, you gotta, I mean,
Oh, never
let's do
mind.
it, you gotta watch them.
All I can say is, it's contractors.
So, things that the town folks should be able to expect, any discoloration in the waters,
There may be
mineral
some,
flavoring to it, something.
there may be a little bit of higher chlorine content,
Just from the flushing and
just from
clearing.
the flushing of that.
Yeah,
Uh, But no, I've got to, that's what I said, I've got to know so I can let you all know when they're gonna be flushing. I mean, let the university know.
yeah,
We need to know if we're gonna see a fluctuation in that tower,
yeah.
that how much more water we're pushing through it.
Right, fire department's doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And we may have air in the line like we did when we had that big leak up in Guthrie.
That's a very big possibility, yes. I'm gonna try to, when they do that, which I'll try and get it off of there, but I'm gonna try to come to the hydrant that's your drive and blow it off. As soon as they get ready to turn it on, I'm gonna try and open that.
Okay.
So maybe most of the air will
Right.
come out of there
Start the system right there before it goes into the tower.
before it gets all the way in
Yeah.
town.
Okay. Excellent. Thank
Okay,
you very much for that.
You're welcome.
That's all I have.
Yeah, that's it.
new business.
Your turn, Wendy.
My turn. So we got an email this morning saying that we have been awarded the REAP grant in the full requested amount of $143,584 for our lagoon capacity restoration project.
All the hard work. is done.
Well done. Good job.
You wrote it in 5 days.
Well done, guys. Now we have questions. Figure out how to spend it.
Well, there's one thing if you remember, when part of that, that's why I asked, well, Jeannie was already gonna be here. But part of our project management plan that we voted and approved is, in the grant request and what we've committed to, and we're already, well, number one, we developed our estimates, number two, we approved them, and now we're on number 3. And that's why Jeannie and Jason is our lagoon task force, so they need to get regular meetings with Wade and develop a timeline for this project. And so that's.
What we really also need to do though is actually accept.
Oh, we gotta
accepting
accept
the
the
grant.
grant.
Yeah.
We gotta accept the grant.
I didn't get.
Maybe it
I
brings
didn't
all
get
things
the
fine. We've
email.
done so much work thus far, I don't know.
We have the classes coming up and I need to call REAP tomorrow and see how many people we can send. They offer the same class on 3 different dates, so it shouldn't be an issue if more than one person wants to go and see what they're talking about. But before we just send them an email saying, a bunch of people are coming, I'd like
Right.
to call her and see what they expect for their classes and what, I can't imagine there being an issue with 1 or 2, but when you start getting 4, 5, 6.
I can't imagine there being an issue with that either, considering those 4, 5, or 6 are all doing.
Yeah, I don't
Working
know,
on it.
but
Yeah.
at the same time, it literally
Yeah.
says in the email, tell us who you're sending, and so I'd like, and it says it in a singular, so I'm just gonna call her and say, hey, is it fine if we don't show up, whatever.
Since each one of us has our own specific tasks, Lindy, you got your task, and they have theirs, and Wade has his. And I gotta deal with the auditor. Because that was one of the criteria on our audit report, is that we didn't have any grants over 25,000, because there's more audit requirements on them. You
This
remember?
is already gone before they said
But anyway,
that. I should have
so,
spoke up soon, that's all.
anyway, that was part of our bid process.
I have a question.
Uh-huh.
What are we gonna do about the street light? You
Yeah.
can't see.
Maybe anybody heard anything about it yet?
ODOT's been notified.
The one here.
ODOT has been harassed.
I don't know about that.
Oh, I was
They
coming home
have,
from Perkins
Lindy's
one
back there
night.
shaking her head.
They have.
Got lights in my eyes, went to turn,
You
looking
can't
for
find
that,
it.
and I was in the dirt,
Yeah.
because I couldn't see the road.
And,
Can you please lodge a complaint with ODOT?
well, we have been.
Individually?
Oh, yes,
No, no, no.
individually. Yes, Lindy will give you the contact.
And tell them that because you could not see, you ended up off the side of the road. Like we discussed with them would be the issue.
And accidents can happen real
Well,
quick there.
I have, FYI, their office is called Residential ODOT Office, and it's in North Stillwater. And I've actually been there one of the times I've been complaining. And
Let's go up there.
because they weren't answering the phone and they weren't returning phone calls. So,
Fix that one in a hurry.
yeah,
I will say something on that. I mean, I'm not saying we need that. We are, so back to the fire department side of this, but we are trying to get them to install some sort of lights out there and a sensor that will put something that when we run out on a fire lights and sirens, it has to be that will trigger and set them lights up where they automatically go off when one of our trucks go by, to alert traffic that we're coming out.
Oh, well, FYI, guys, I don't know if you've been following and reading or seen the plans, and our correspondence with ODOT back is that it will be 18 to 24 months before pavement will be down and permanent lighting can be installed.
Yep. Well, that means
Now,
temporary,
what have we ever, we have proposed in the last thing of just hooking the line back up to the existing light?
Yes, that's been
That's
proposed
been
several times,
proposed.
bury
I'll follow
it
up
deeper
with
so it
them.
doesn't get cut
That is
again.
all we're asking. OG&E, I truly, in me talking with our representative and talking with another OG&E guy, they will work with us to put that light back on if ODOT will just let them.
Yeah,
And what they'll do is they'll give you the name of the contractor and tell you to call the contractor. And I just basically said, are you kidding me? The contract is with you. It is not with me.
then they say, well, we gotta go through and figure out what the plan was and when that's supposed to be installed, because that's a change, and no,
You
no,
say,
no.
hey, leave the frickin' pole where it is right now. Allow, and as soon as they get your water done, they will complete the grading as they're doing all along the north side of the street. And it's gonna sit there for 18 to 2 years.
The problem is, and it was confirmed, that when they started tearing all of that up, they dug too deep, or
Cut the
possibility that the line was too shallow for whatever reason,
Got it.
and they cut the line. It was not planned to be cut, it was not planned to be taken out yet, it was not in the original plans. So this is not an issue of any kind of new change to the plans or whatever. They screwed up, they have to put it back together, they don't have a choice in the matter, that's government contracts. But they're trying to play it off like it was
As
all part of
change
the
orders.
plan. As change
As a
orders.
change order, which
And
would
that's
increase
not
the
the case.
cost. And there would be no, I would be willing, as your council member, to pay OG&E if we have to set a pole.
No,
No, whatever it gets,
It needs to be done.
it needs to be done, however we
Move
can.
it back where it ought to be, where it's gonna be.
Well, it needs to be hooked up for right now, because there's that hole there.
right now, it has to be where it's at. You've got in between
Because of the
a real
hole.
lane and a dirt lane
Yeah.
and a hole. It has to be where it's at
Where it is
right now. Until they get to a point where they can actually pave it, move it, and remove that hazard.
The drainage hole has to be
Right,
protected.
so the construction company is actually at fault here, it's the construction company's responsibility to get it replaced. That's the whole deal. OG&E's going, well, whose pole is it? It doesn't matter.
Well,
It doesn't matter.
Well, it's on
OG&E
ODOT
There
property.
anyway.
It's on ODOT property.
It is
right
our
now.
property, we pay the bill, that's part of the problem, it's a back and forth issue.
What it's probably gonna take is someone actually driving off in that hole and someone getting killed.
Well, exactly in my email. I have sent that personally, that if someone goes off in that deep hole, their vehicle will flip.
Yep.
And just pray there's no children aboard.
Hope you're
And
not
our
sitting there
school
waiting to
buses.
turn and somebody passes you on the right.
So,
That's happened to me
I
a
would
thousand
highly
times.
recommend, if you have the time,
Guardrail.
it's
I
ODOT,
don't know if we
North.
knocks at this point.
We'll just go after
Just go knock on the door.
Usually we're
I'll
like,
put
I
my.
know you will, that's what I'm saying. Well, I can.
Fill it open.
Don't challenge me, because I will do it.
We'll go there tomorrow, I'll knock on it, get on it, kick on it.
They'll answer the door.
Somebody has to.
My yoga days.
all right, well, it's
We gotta go.
I said.
Moving along.
I'll make it, so I'll second it, all in favor, and we're there.
Okay. At 8:29.
Last one.
You know, it wouldn't hurt if we had a light on the other decks
That
down
ain't-
now too.
That's not gonna happen.
Who's that?
That's not the city limits anymore.
Nope.
It's right directly behind the
The better.
Or get some reflectors or something.
We need to talk to our county commissioner, I'm sure some of you guys know him. That's county road.
What's the,
It's not Paul, right?
I'm just kidding. No, the county Triple X.
Yeah,
That
Triple
X,
X Road.
Triple X, all that area back to now is county responsibility.
Wish they'd mow it once in a while, wouldn't it be?
Well, again, we used to call the county commissioner and they would come out and they would mow. Now, I don't know if we've lost our contact or why, but they didn't mow this year.
You know, I've been mowing it every year.
Yeah.
I know.
I think Carl out there.
But we did get them to mow Triple X too. I guess that was 3 years ago. Okay, next.
Okay. We'll call the Board Educational Facility Authority Board of Trustees. Roll call.
Trustee King?
Yeah.
Trustee Hale?
Here.
Mayor Long?
Here. Welcome guests. Again, they got 3 minutes to talk about anything that's on the agenda.
anything?
Anything?
Moving right on.
Business agenda. Education Business Trust report.
I have a report from the CPA firm.
Okay.
They have everything they need from us, and they are working on bringing the audits current from 2012 to 2023. What is that? 11 years?
No.
The school, we have you noticed on the report, we've got $25,000 in our bank account. The monies that we retrieved from mishandling in the prior years, and a $15,000 check we got almost from the school. All the Bank First accounts are closed now, and that money that was left over, the school transferred to us. So that's where we got our total of, what did I tell you, almost 30,000, what is it?
I remember, I don't remember now.
I don't know what's on there.
Obviously,
$29,514 has been set aside to pay for these, and the estimate is a little under $40,000, and the school knows that they will be getting a bill for the balance per the contract. Hold us up, loose. So that's where that stands. So after that, there will be just a partial audit because there was one bond payment made in September of '23. And that will close out all those bank accounts, all of those bonds paid for, done. Until we have some more things that we have to discuss. So that's the status of that. Should be good news to everybody.
that should help the school too.
Well, I must say, Mr. Cagle, after, he is the third superintendent that we have had to talk to explain the school's obligation, and he's the only one that got it. Because the town couldn't spend town monies for those audits.
Yep.
So, all right, new business.
Adjourn.
And motion, and a second.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Ta-da!
8:30.
Just think, Carl, we had been out of here a half hour ago if we had to figure out who the bear was.
Oh, I didn't know I was.
Good, glad to have you back.
I didn't know I changed my gender either.
Oh, my, my.
We're better than Saturday night.
Could not be looking at that.
I don't think it is. You want my mom to tell you that? No, we don't want even criticism, don't do it. If you don't want any criticism, don't do it.
Nobody's gonna hear,
We
nobody.
won't
be watching.
I look like you're not.
Well, like I said, I was asked 4 times. I was asked to Guthrie a couple times. 9 people called.
You're a new person, I haven't met your family.
Or cheer me out. 'Cause she thought I was
My sister comes out.
Should be out.
6 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, that's fine. Everybody knows.
Yeah, you'll have to come out there for a few minutes someday.
I just know about that one.
Just one of those.
Everything is like-
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. You want to do it, go for it. Right. But if it's,
I know, I used to, when I was a kid, I used to.
this guy, he don't do that.
I used to love that. You know how that is. Oh, I got some.
They got a couple of places I think I can try and burn the backside of our fairly easily contained.
You don't think it'd be an awful fun to burn that thing with stuff?
Yeah, I went out when there was snow on the ground. I actually, my son was burning. Around it, hopped into the grass in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Put it out with
And some.
Well, we get all, everybody back to normal.
It's supposed to be faster, and it may not even be until next year. They're not